Welcome back to Ask a Provider, done in partnership with the Avalon Foundation and Choptank Community Health. I am back with Megan, and I have to say, I cannot actually believe that the topic of this is COVID yet again, but I can speak from experience that I feel like all of a sudden a lot of people that I know are getting it again. So what is going on?
Definitely, it is all around us. Some of it was very predictable in that it's winter, people are indoors, holiday gatherings, and then as there's more infections out in the community, there's more chance for those variants. And then this one in particular, the one that's kind of taking over the Northeast, that we've heard about a lot and getting a lot of attention. Each variant can change a little bit, and this one can bind a little bit better, which makes it a little bit easier to spread and infect others.
So it is a new variant that is taking over Talbot County or the Eastern Shore. So like, what is that variant, and what makes it sort of different aside from its transmissibility?
Well, variants in themselves are very normal for viruses. Viruses, like, a lot of things on Earth, they want to survive. And so they find ways to figure out how can I survive the best. And for this one in particular, you can think of strains as almost like relatives. They're very similar to old strains, but just changed a little bit to be something new that makes it different. This one, XBB dot 1.5, it's just letters and numbers. That's not really important. But they do kind of go in waves. And this one in particular, like we were talking about before, there's always a lag of knowing, is it more severe? Do vaccines work? But all those questions certainly always come up with a new variant. So far, it looks like, yes, the vaccines are still effective. No, it's not causing more severe disease, but it does seem like it might kind of cause a little bit more infection compared to other strains with how it is spreading.
And are the symptoms the same? When should you test with this new variant? I mean, again, I think that's something that maybe as rates go up, how can someone like me help is maybe just being more mindful of my symptoms. So if I wake up in the morning and I kind of have a stuffy nose, it's winter, like maybe I kind of always have a stuffy nose. Like at what point, what level of vigilance should we have right now? And like, what should we be looking for in terms of symptoms to really like be more serious about it?
Sure. So symptoms are the same as they've been. A lot of just kind of cold symptoms, runny nose, just kind of stuffy, maybe headache. And it really depends on the individual. How often do you get stuffy noses? It depends on, is this different from my baseline for this time of year? Am I putting myself in riskier situations? Have I been in crowds? Do I know anyone that, maybe was sneezing or coughing? And so you kind of have to factor all of that in, but definitely recommend a low threshold right now in our community. And if you can get access to the home tests and go ahead and do it when you have any symptoms, have peace of mind, know that you are going out into the community, not potentially infecting others.
And so, I got my booster in September when they came out. Am I still protected? Like, how often should we be getting these boosters? If you haven't gotten a booster, is it too late with all of this spread? Like, talk to me a little bit about the booster that's out there and what you should do.
Sure. So there haven't been any updated recommendations to get more boosters. So you're still in the green, you're all up to date. And for anybody that maybe has been on the fence, has been waiting, has been, unsure if, it's worth it, definitely worth it, and go get it. It is not too late. We know that the new booster, which if you go anywhere and say I want a booster, they're going to give you the new booster. You can't get a wrong booster. And anybody that has that definitely increases the protection. You could still get the strain, but it's going to be very mild disease. It's not going to cause those severe complications.
But as like the disease sort of gets more mild and we all kind of have some of the COVID fatigue, like at what point should we like, is it just a cold? Like, do you really still have to get these boosters?
I think, over time, it might get to that point. The tricky part now is that, we're in the community with some people that maybe never got vaccinated that are immunocompromised. We might have, a family member that's living with us that, could really have severe complications. We are definitely seeing that shift where the people that are having severe disease are the elderly population and people that are immunocompromised. And even if they are vaccinated, those are the kind of more risky populations. With how much it's spreading and how much it's in the community, it's just about being part of that overall picture to try to calm things down.
Because the more spread, the more likelihood that there's a new variant that might be tougher to combat too, right?
Exactly.
So if you've gotten like Moderna or Pfizer, does it matter what booster that you can't go in and get? Or again, can you where should you go get these boosters? If you're on the fence before watching this, ask a provider, and now you're thinking, all right, it's time for me to get boosted up. What do you do?
Go and do it. Yes. I had the same conversation with my in-laws. Just go and do it. They got it last month. Anywhere at Chop Tank, you can certainly call us and we can get that straight. A lot of pharmacies, anywhere that has vaccines, really have access to the boosters. Some people have preference for Moderna, Pfizer. It's really what can you get? What do you have access to? And just go ahead and do it. And that's going to kind of increase your immunity. So even if you're exposed out in the store or, a friend that came over, it gives you a really good kind of fighting chance to maybe not get it, or if you do get it, it'll be really mild. And then you can get back to work and school sooner. And that's
talk to me about that. I feel like everybody should know these answers right now, but what can we do to protect ourselves? I mean, should we be back in our masks? You're saying that it's pretty bad out there right now. Like, talk to us about what that risk calculation should look like right now.
Sure. Obviously a different time than earlier in the pandemic, and it really goes back to kind of individually, where are you at? Well, are you entering a room that has two other people? No, I'm not going to put a mask on. Am I entering a space that is very crowded with people I don't know, and the chances are that if someone that is in there is sick, then I probably will right now. You have to look at your own health, your own risks of severe disease. It's almost like if you're gonna spend the day out in the sun, what is your risk to lather on sunscreen or cover up? You kind of have to do that day to day, depending on where you're going and maybe who's at home, or all those factors.
Got it. Well, I hope this is our very last conversation about COVID. Somehow I doubt it.
If enough people get boosters, it can be.
I love it. I love it. Well, I hope everybody stays safe. It's always good to talk to Megan from Chop Tank Community Health. I know that a lot of people are tired of listening to about COVID, but it is all over our community, and getting boosted and sharing information like this with your friends is really important. So if you know people who haven't received their booster, please share this information with them. And I think Megan's points about being really mindful of your symptoms and helping to slow or stop the spread so that we don't end up with new, more wicked variants is really important. So Megan, thank you for your time again today. I'm Jessica again from the Avalon Foundation, and this has been Ask a Provider with Chop Tank Community Health.